golden house? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of mora. This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Time to act.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Passable effort. Passable effort. How Unbecoming.
Time to act.
Poor Tiny.
Let's light it up!
Not bad.
Why do they
not
never
bad.
miss? Off we go!
Passable effort. Celestial Voyager! Poor timing. Run all you like.
Off we go! Adventure time!
You're wide open.
That's gonna hurt in the morning!
Cowering already?
Adventure time! Rain outlines your fate. Body and mind. Witness the power of Guga! Know my sword!
Run all you like. So quick to flee. Passable poor timing.
Off we go! Let's
Wide
light it
open.
up! Let's light it up!
Passable effort. A clear shot.
Let's light it up!
Try this.
Ow! Rain outlines your fate. I'm going in!
Progress. Not bad. You've got a trick. Ha! Good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Time to act.
Don't get frostbite. Freeze. Dodge this. You've got some skills. Freeze. Raging tide. Dodge this.
Rain cutter.
No use hiding back there. Something else catch your eye?
Not good.
Got you.
Adventure.
I'll crush you.
Let's light it up. That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Some skills.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
All you do is run.
Rain outlines your fate. Body and mind.
Gotcha.
Off we go! Ow!
Something else catch your eye? This!
Not good!
Tide! All you do is run.
Not good! I let my guard down.
No
Body
use
and
hiding
mind.
back there.
Time to act. Body and mind. Time to act. Body and mind.
I'll crush you! Break! Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Body and mind. No, my sword! Time to act. Body and mind. I let my guard down. Ha! Let's light it up! Don't worry, I got this. Off we go! I'm going in!
Die here.
Off we go!
Freeze! Dodge this! What's the hurry?
Let's light it up!
Cool it!
Let's light it up! Not good. Time to act.
Windblade!
Let's light it up! Adventure time! Adventure time!
Dodge this! Ugh, I'm getting tired of this game. Die here.
Body and mind. Time to act. Everybody stand back!
Oh, so sorry.
I can no longer hold back. Rain outlines your fate.
Windblade!
No, my sword!
Die here.
Rain outlines your fate.
Windblade! Don't push your luck. Ha, cool it! What's the hurry?
Body and mind.
push your luck.
Die here.
Off we go! Why do they never miss?
Dull.
What's the hurry?
Off we go! I'm going in!
Windblade!
Rain outlines your fate. Let's light it up!
Dodge this!
Die here.
Adventure time! Off we go!
Cool it!
Body and mind. No, my stuff. Not good.
Dull.
A minor setback. Time to act. Let's light it up!
Dodge this!
Teamwork is dreamwork! No, my sword! I let my guard down.
Windblade!
Body and mind.
You're cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adept guy. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber. Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Lila? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the Guardians of Lilith. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go up too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
It isn't time for a break-in!
This moment will be frozen in time.
It isn't time for a break-in!
Dodge this! That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Going in! Witness the power of
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many between two! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the tiny giant cars! Wow! It's Madame Pink's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
No excuse for slacking!
Time to act.
Finished. Not breaking a sweat!
Let me weave you a verse.
No slacking off! My duty!
With the blood of the Chilian, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Look at me. Witness the power of woah!
Not breaking a sweat!
No, my sword! Off we go! Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak! In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Looks like I went too far.
Oh, so.
This is it.
Everybody stand back!
My duty.
Off we go! Adventure time! Ring cutter!
I guess.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Childe wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Body and mind. Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangshen Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Body and mind. Time to act.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Childe. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you! You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract, for it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyra goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Childe, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Senora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Childe. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liu Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liu. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liu as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liu.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all!
Ha! On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything.
If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liu saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millelith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Childe.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Time to act.
Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Body and mind.
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. Yes, the nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Childe.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Childe did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Childe's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
You know, this is starting to feel like chili pepper weather. Paimon's hungry for some fresh and fiery, spicy foods that light your have a blast. And if there's one dish that fits the bill, it's blackback perch stew. Come on, let's pay a visit to One Min Restaurant.
To our success.
As expected.
Made another handsome
Grilled
today.
tiger fish. Get it while it's hot.
Time to act.
I simply have to try the winning dish of this year's masterful chefs. Hey, guess who's here? Oh, no way! It's the Traveler and Paimon!
Ah, Traveler, welcome. Good to see you. What can I get for you?
We want some blackback perch stew!
All right, blackback perch stew it is. Make yourselves at home. It'll be right out for you in just a moment.
Thanks, Chef Mao! I was just thinking about you guys, and now you're here. It feels like you heard my call and came running. You mean you were about to come looking for us? Uh-huh. There's something I want to discuss with you guys. Did you happen to see how the city looked on the way over here? Everyone's getting ready for the Moon Chase Festival. Moon Chase Festival? Is that another one of Liyue's ancient traditions? That's right! Moon Chase is a big festival where we celebrate the arrival of the fall by moonlight. The old folks say that thousands of years ago, this was the time of the year when the Adepti would seek the way. But it's completely different nowadays. We eat our favorite foods, spend time with friends and relatives, enjoy the moon and the flowers. So much easier. Basically, we just do all the things that people like doing and don't take a whole lot of effort. Sounds like Paimon's kind of festival. With your great taste in food, Moon Chase Festival is sure to be to your liking. Hey! If you got a problem with Paimon's taste, just spit it out! So are you guys free these days? I'm taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs. If possible, I'd like you to be my culinary consultants.
That's right. Getting some suggestions from friends will broaden your horizons.
Masterful Chefs, huh? So is that like a competition? Right, yeah! I guess you probably haven't heard about it before. Every year, Moon Chase Festival has a different theme, usually picked by the Qixing. This year's theme is Feast of the Bounteous Land, so the Qixing decided to organize a cooking competition. Feast of the Bounteous Land. Pretty much sums up what Liyue is all about. Great theme! I totally agree. I heard it was Ningguang that came up with it. She's so amazing and so full of mystery. Well, I want to take part in the competition, but coming up with new dishes is hard work. By the time you finally thought of something, cooked it, taste tested it, it can be hard to judge whether you're really into something or not. And so, I was thinking, I could get the two of you to help by gathering everyone's thoughts on what makes a great dish. I really want to think outside the box this time. And to do that, I'm going to need lots of different ideas from lots of different people. This'll be a piece of cake! We've got friends from all over the map, haven't we? You sound pretty confident. Well, you know, not to brag or anything. But first things first, let's have a delicious one-man meal. After that, we can go around to all of our friends in Liyue and get their ideas one by one.
Okay, great. Also, Golba should be back soon, so we can all go together.
Here's your blackback perch stew, folks.
It smells so good.
It's my pleasure.
That was so delicious. Theory confirmed. This is definitely chili pepper weather.
Xiangling can be a bit of a handful, so please look out for her while you're out and about.
Come on, Dad. Why would you say that?
Because I know you all too well, my dear. That's why. You mustn't be quite so reckless when you're out in the wild, you understand? You do well to be a little more cautious, like our traveler friend.
Don't worry, we're all friends here. Let's all look out for each other.
Ah, and Guoma's back, roly-poling around as usual.
All right, let's pack up and head out.
Cheap and tasty.
Time to act.
So, it's outside the box thinking that we're looking for, right? Hu Tao always seems to have a unique perspective, so let's make this our first stop.
What? My ears are burning. Did somebody say my name? Yeah, it's Paimon and the Traveler. Oh, and Xiangling, too.
Ah, of course, Hu Tao. Way outside the box.
Meaning you're here for some other reason, right? How might I be of assistance?
Well, Hu Tao, I wanted to ask you, what kind of food do you like?
What food I like? Off the top of my head, I don't really have an answer.
Wow, so even Hu Tao gets lost for words sometimes. Paimon sure didn't see that coming.
Come on, even the chirpiest birds clock out for the night, right? I'm no different.
Pretty sure clocking out isn't something birds do, but okay.
Right! There's no need to overcomplicate it. Just pick a dish and tell me what you like about it. I'm doing some market research.
I see. Launching a new dish? Well, let me say right off the bat, nothing weird, okay? Some poached fish, a side of shrimp dumplings. That is all you need.
Poached fish and shrimp dumplings? That's a bit ordinary, isn't it?
Well, it is and it isn't. Think about it. Poached fish is hot and spicy with a powerful aroma. It's a dynamic dish. Add a side of shrimp dumplings, and there's your static component. Got it?
Dynamic? Oh, I can do dynamic. Mushroom slime stew,
No, not that kind of dynamic. A dish is more than substance, it's a mood. Poached fish is red and spicy. It elicits a response from the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. That's why I call it dynamic. Shrimp dumplings are more subdued, clear and smooth with a pure and subtle fragrance. I call that static. Combining dynamic and static is how you create a perfectly balanced meal. A union between opposite but complementary features coexisting in perfect harmony.
Paimon didn't follow that at all. But at the same time, it kinda sounded smart, so...
Okay. Dynamic and static. Opposite, but complementary.
So is this just another way of saying you should keep everything balanced? You know, a little meat, a little veggie, a little salt, a little sugar?
Bingo! Except I don't think you need to have a sweet dish for it to be a complete meal. Personally, I always skip dessert.
Okay, I think I got it. At first I thought you were just goofing around, but actually you make a really good point. How did I ever doubt you, Hu Tao? Thanks.
When it comes to telling tales, the storytellers have got nothing on Hu Tao.
Sounds suspiciously like a compliment to me. I'll take it. Uh-huh. Well, at least one of you gets it. Everything in this world runs on its own set of principles, be it the circle of life or sugar and spice. You either get it or you don't.
Since the Traveler seems to approve, I'll make sure to factor it in.
Paimon thinks we're pretty much done here now. Let's head to Boo Boo Pharmacy next.
Boo Boo Pharmacy? Yeah, you'll definitely get some interesting responses over there.
Body and mind. Time to act.
Oh, it's you. Is everything okay? Why, if it isn't the special guest who seldom visit. Less busy than usual, I see. Yikes! What happened to Baiju's voice? Excuse me? The neck. Oh, it's just Changsheng.
Welcome, welcome. Here to procure an herbal remedy, I presume?
No. We actually came for the conversation this time. We're here to talk food.
I'm entering this year's cooking competition, so I wanted to ask you both... Oh, wait, there's 3 of you. I wanted to ask the 3 of you what kind of food you like.
Most astutely self-corrected. We shall surely supply our assistance. You need to know what food I like? It's all the same. No flavor.
Chi-Chi has some gustatory dysfunction and can't taste any food. Make no mistake, she's not being uncooperative.
Oh, I understand. That's fine. Still, I'd expect Chi-Chi to have some sort of dietary preferences, though. There must be some dishes that you like the sensation of.
Sensation? Yes, there's one. Coconut milk. Nice and cold. Well, that doesn't help us. It's not a dish, it's a drink.
How about you two? Any thoughts?
I like bite-sized morsels of meat.
I agree with Changsheng. Many of our patients are the elderly and young children. They find large chunks of fowl or seafood difficult to swallow and digest. Dishes where the ingredients have been finely chopped, on the other hand, are far more suitable for them. We also see plenty of people with colds and sore throats who find it difficult to eat rich food. From a purely pharmaceutical perspective, I tend to recommend soups and stews.
Got it! Would that be medicinal soups and stews?
Medicinal soup. I don't like it.
I must apologize for having such a one-track mind. It's a little difficult to think about food without worrying about the health implications these days. We've had quite the endless stream of patients recently. If you ask me, I think the changing weather is to blame.
That's okay. Everyone's input counts. Keeping it seasonal and suitable for all ages sounds like a pretty good idea to Paimon.
Medicinal dishes have higher demands in terms of nutritional balance than the kind of food I normally cook. I don't usually focus on medicinal properties, but since this is for a competition, maybe I can score more points by taking both flavor and function into account.
Food with substance. Always better. Everyone will like it.
It's a great suggestion. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. As long as we could help.
It's great to have a doctor's unique perspective. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, how you flatter me.
Receptivity to sensible suggestions make for a savvy chef. Oh, she is! Creating new dishes is Xiangling's favorite thing to do. You can be sure she'll put lots of care and attention into it.
Everyone's got their hobbies, and mine is cooking. Usually I just go with my own ideas, but having a whole new perspective this time is sure to make a big difference to the end result.
Great! That makes this whole trip worth it! Alright, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective and a health perspective. Next, Paimon thinks we should probably talk to some picky eaters.
Body and mind.
Children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been...
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation ability. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glaze lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glaze lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yanfei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yanfei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two... You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this. Ever the top.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Krusell. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Body and mind. Oh, it's the Traveler in Paimon. And Xiangling.
Greetings, friends. It's been a while.
Hey, what brings you here?
Has something happened? What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objections?
None here. You know how to get things done, Keqing. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Keqing is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. You, meanwhile, seem only too ready to pounce when an opportunity to publicly lambaste me arises. Even when it means giving our poor mutual friend here the cold shoulder. By no means. You wish to know about the stone, I presume. Then let me invite the great seafarer Captain Beto to tell the story, if she would be so kind.
You... Fine. Well, it's a big one, right? And such a smooth surface, too. Makes you think there's gotta be a good chunk of jade in there.
It was found by a fishing crew, not far off the coast. It must have been underwater for years, so the erosion will be what's given it that smooth finish.
Finds like this cannot be kept as private property, and must be submitted to a holder of public office. Placing it into our custody will also give them peace of mind.
So, what's inside it?
Well, we've hit it with just about every weapon we could get our hands on and haven't managed to even dent it yet. Clearly there's more to it than meets the eye.
No weapon could smash it open. Wow. Paimon doesn't think we've ever encountered a stone like that before.
Keqing has taken an unusually keen interest in this giant stone, which is why we are leaving the matter in her capable hands.
Let's put that aside for a second. Traveler, what brings you here? Were you looking for someone?
Actually, we were looking for all of you. We need all hands on deck here.
Oh? Hopefully not because there's been some sort of cataclysmic event.
No, nothing like that. Paimon's just getting carried away. I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences? That's a little unexpected.
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart, and sophisticated. That is all I require.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you that.
What about you, Beto?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there too, I'm one very happy captain.
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood, piping hot, and, simple but sophisticated. And that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you've heard of golden shrimp balls.
Oh my, they're my favorite.
You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. There's no room for cutting corners. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated. It fits Ningguang's forward summary to the letter.
Huh. So what you're saying is, for all the frills and trills, good food is all the same at the core?
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So Keqing loves golden shrimp balls.
I didn't say that. Did I?
No, at least not outright.
Alrighty. Thanks for all your input. I'll be sure to take it all into consideration.
Traveler, Paimon, do you have anything planned after this? Good. I'd like you to help me investigate something. It's about this stone.
You picked the right people for the job. We investigate stuff all the time.
My thoughts exactly. The Qixing has a public duty to deliver our final verdict to the fishermen, but there are also some things I would like to investigate on a personal level. I'm sure you've become acquainted with the general background of the Moonchase Festival. However, I have my own understanding of this festival's roots. My grandfather was a researcher of Liyue's traditions. In his notes, he indicated that there was a deity called the Stove God in ancient Liyue, which people paid tribute to at a certain time of the year. Very few written records make mention of the Stove God, and those that do are notoriously confusing. Some scholars believe that the Stove God was just another title held by the Lord of Geo, but others suggest that this was a different deity altogether. One folktale even claims that the ancients found the Stove God's shrine, but there was no statue, only a huge, smooth slab of stone. Shortly after it was found, the stone was lost in transit, and it hasn't been seen since. This stone here has all the same features, so I suspect it could be the one that went missing all those years ago. After many years of researching ancient texts, My grandfather came to believe that the practice of paying seasonal tribute to the Stove God may be best described as a festival. He called it the Stove God Festival. That would make it the forerunner to the Moon Chase Festival we know today. But this is all just theory and conjecture. To prove any of it, we'd need to start by identifying who the Stove God really was. Now that Rex Lapis has passed on, and Liyue has entered the age of humankind, his successors should continue to respect our nation's culture and traditions, just as he did. That's why I think the responsibility for this situation should fall to me. It's a chance to shed light on our history, revitalize an ancient tradition, and possibly prove my grandfather's hypothesis along the way. With any luck, we'll nail all three in one fell swoop. It was just a couple of days ago that we received this stone. Right after we decided to use food as the central theme for this year's festival. It makes me wonder. Maybe a divine will is at work behind all of this.
3 birds with 1 stone, huh? That's pretty efficient, even for cooking.
Hey, don't worry about that. This sounds super important, so don't mind me. Besides, we're only... Wait a second. I got it!
What? Why are you shouting?
Ka-ching, can I tag along for your investigation?
But...
Since it's all about the Stove God, I might get to learn something useful about cooking along the way. It'll be great inspiration for me in the competition. Please, let me come along. I promise I'll help.
If it means that much to you... Okay, I suppose you can come.
Really? Yay! Thank you so much! You're the best!
Now that that's settled, time to get going. Jingsa Village is said to be home to a lot of historical texts, so I'd like to start by making some inquiries there.
Alright, then it's off to Jingsa we go!
While the Millelith stands guard, evil shall never prevail.
We need your help with something. Are there any old books around Jingsa Village? You know, from a really long time ago?
Oh, looking for ancient texts, are we? There is an old warehouse over there, property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Many books are stored inside. Those that they have no room for at home. In fact, their youngest comes over this way to read sometimes.
The Feiyun Commerce Guild's youngest? You must be talking about Xingqiu.
Paimon didn't know they had a warehouse here. Let's go take a look.
being robbed!
It came from that direction. Come on! Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse.
Fry! I got careless. Have a little taste. Picked the wrong subject.
I've come here to clean the book warehouse plenty of times before, but this is the first time I've run into these crooks.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks to all of you. Hey, wait a minute. You're the Traveler, aren't you? And you're with... Lady Kuching. An honor. Truly an honor.
We'll try not to take up too much of your time. I understand that this book warehouse is the property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Could you advise whether we might find any text relating to the Stove God in this collection?
The Stove God? I heard that's the Lord of Geo, right?
Huh? Really?
Yeah. A friend of mine who conducts research mentioned it once before. We use stoves for cooking, and stoves are built from rock. Some people think that the stove is a gift from the Lord of Geo. And that's why they call him the Stove God.
Seems logical enough. But do you have any books on the topic?
I'm sorry, I'd have to ask the young master about that.
Oh, any questions? Please, ask away.
Hey, it's Chongyun and Xingqiu!
Hello, one and all.
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
I was bored with nothing to do, and thought I'd come out this way for a bit of reading. And then I thought, why not bring Chongyun along too?
Yes, I'm just along for the ride, really.
I see the Yuheng Kuching is with you. Whatever brings you here must surely be a matter of grave importance.
Master Xingqiu, if I may be so bold, do you happen to know if there are any texts on the subject of the Stove God among this collection?
Since I personally selected which volumes to store here, I do have some recollection of their contents. If my memory betrays me not, there is one volume among them called Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the Stove God.
Might I take a look?
Certainly. If it pleases my lady, I shall lead the way. Sheng, I will take care of things here. You're free to go about your own business.
They're back! So did you find it?
Yes, Master Xingqiu has quite an exceptional memory. Demystifying the Legends of Liyue does indeed mention the Stove God. However, it says the following. The body of the dragon wielded a tail that could eclipse the sun, and claws to command fire and teach the ways of wisdom. Receiving the gift bequeathed unto them, humankind cooked food with fire, and thus did they prosper.
The body of a dragon? The stories about Rex Lapis say the same thing.
That much is true, but this is the only passage in the whole book. If we want to find out more, we'll have to continue our investigation. There's nothing further to discover here. It seems we'll have to look at other options.
I come from a long lineage of exorcists, and our family too has amassed a number of ancient texts. Now that you mention the Stove God, I seem to recall reading somewhere that this god once appeared at the Guili Assembly. Of course, I can't say if it's true or not.
Books are penned by people. All they can do is show what the author was thinking. Everyone's mind is different, so every book on a given topic will give a different account. I apologize that we could not help in a more substantial capacity.
Your help thus far is quite ample. Liyue is a vast and rich land. All things that existed here in the past have left their trace. So long as we do not abandon our search, it is sure to bear fruit eventually. Thank you all. We will continue our investigation elsewhere.
Hold up! I had a question too. Shincho, Chongyun, could you tell me what kind of food you like?
Food? Oh no. You're not thinking of taking part in the Masterful Chefs, are you?
Yeah, I totally am. What's wrong? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Xiangling, this is a major event. I beg you, please don't cook anything strange for this competition.
What do you mean, strange?
Mushroom slime stew, to give one example.
Okay, fair enough. That dish isn't my most popular. But that's why I'm doing all this research, so I can create some really special dishes to win everyone over.
Well, in that case, I like cold food.
That's because you can't handle hot and spicy, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
My tastes are on the mild side. I prefer gentle dishes with minimal seasoning. Soups and stews, vegetables and broth, seafood or freshwater fish, either boiled or steamed. These kinds of dishes I am most partial to.
No surprises from the Gugua Geek.
Okay, another mild child. Got it.
These are just personal preferences, and everyone's are quite different. Are you sure this eclectic mix of opinions will be of any use?
Of course! You're my customers, and putting a smile on customers' faces is my calling as a chef.
Though Xiangling's market research blade stabs often into the dark, her heart never strays from the noble path.
If anyone can win hearts and minds with their cooking, it's gotta be someone like Xiangling. She's got pure intentions and really cares about the customers.
No, where's all this praise coming from? Knock it off, guys. You're embarrassing me. Sorry for holding you all up. That's all I needed to know. Shall we carry on with the investigation now?
Over to you, Kuching. Where to next?
So we've learned the Stove God allegedly made an appearance at the Guili Assembly. But today that place is largely a wasteland with few traces of human activity. Longshu Inn is close by, so let's stop off there on the way over and see what we can find out.
Forgive us, for this is where we must part ways. May your journey be a smooth one.
Yes, best of luck. If you run into any difficulties, come and find us. We'll be only too glad to help.
Let's go! Next stop, Longshu Inn.
Body and mind.
Huh? Oh, Traveler. Who are all these people?
Friends of ours! Allow Paimon to introduce Xiangling, Guoba, and Kuqing.
Kuqing? Of the Qixing? She's
Hi.
It's not that. I mean, I'm just your typical commoner. I've never met someone as high up as the Yuheng before in my whole life.
Look at that strong body, those powerful hands, and honest eyes. This guy must be a really great chef.
So, is there something I can help you with? You've come a long way out to end up at Wangshu Inn.
Let me fill you in.
Oh, okay. I see.
Legends claim that the Stove God once appeared at the Guili Assembly. As Wangshu Inn is the oldest extant building in this area, any historical texts from around these parts are likely to have ended up here. Is there a room in this inn for storing books? And if there is, do any of them mention the Stove God?
Well, now that you mention it, we do have a fair few ancient texts here. I remember looking through an old recipe book once. I just need to remember where they're all stored. If you are happy to wait here for a few minutes, I'll go have a look right away. Oh, Traveler, there's something I need to discuss with you.
What is it? We need to pay up or something?
What? No, I wouldn't take your money. We're all friends here. I just wanted to ask if you had the time to make a satisfying salad for me.
A satisfying salad? What for?
Yeah, guy who hangs out on the roof terrace, you know? Good-looking fella, not too tall.
Shh! Don't you think he can hear you?
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, you know who I mean. The boss told me to take care of him, but this guy, let me tell you, he is one tough nut to crack. He usually turns his nose up at everything that isn't almond tofu. But the boss tells me you once made him a satisfying salad, and it all went down so well. So I was thinking, could you teach me how to make it too? That way, I'll have something else in my arsenal.
Oh, so this is for show! You guys really look after him, huh?
Well, that's life, right? You gotta look out for your own people. All right then, wait right here. I'll be just 1 minute.
Clock is ticking! 59, 58...
Sorry for the trouble, Traveler. Okay.
Here you are.
Thank you ever so much.
While Kuqing's reading her book, let's make that satisfying salad. Xiangling, what are you gonna do?
I'd love to come watch too, but I don't want to get in the way, so I'll just stay here with Kuqing.
Okay, shall we go then?
Go ahead and get started. I'll just watch from over here. I only need to watch you make it once to have it committed to memory. All right, thanks for that. I think I've got it now.
You got all the steps down, right?
Of course. Don't forget, I am the best chef around these parts.
Let's go see what Kuqing and Xiangling are up to. Kuqing, Xiangling, we're back!
You finished cooking? Good timing. We finished our reading, too.
And? Useful? Or no?
Useful. There is a passage concerning the Stove God, and it's not what we were expecting. I quote, 60 miles to the northwest is the Guili Assembly. Many were settled there, where they hunted in groups, farmed the land, and made their living from what the soil yielded. When the Stove God descended, one god became many, all of which were the height of children. As does a star when it descends into the world, so the Stove God went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. With fire, the people at last learned to make hot food, and they dined on rice congee and cooked meat thereafter. This is a radically different account from the one given in Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, and also a conflicting one.
One god became many? Does that mean there was more than one stove god?
Taking the text at face value, that is what it says.
Went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. So did the stove god really go and teach people how to cook firsthand?
Now that's a god who truly cared for their people.
So, we've got two leads, but they contradict each other. How do we know which one to believe?
By continuing our investigation and reserving judgment for now. Thank you for this text, Yanxiao.
It's my pleasure, really. Think nothing of it. If anything, I should be thanking the traveler. Listen, you've helped me an awful lot. Not just today, but in the past, too. I want to make it up to you properly, and as it happens, things are pretty quiet here today. So I'd like to take the chance to treat you all. What do you say? Will you stay for a meal?
Wow, he sure sounds confident in his cooking. I like that. Confidence is one of the best ingredients a chef can have. I really want to try his cooking. I say we take him up on his offer.
It's hard to refuse a generous offer like that. Yes, I think we can fit this in. Yanxiao, we await your culinary creations with great anticipation.
I won't disappoint.
Body and mind.
Moonchase Festival is an excellent time to learn a few new dishes.
Excellent.
Everybody, please be seated!
You think you own the place?
I'll sit here with Goba.
Here we are. That's everything you ordered.
It all smells amazing. I think I've met my fellow finalist.
It smells beautiful.
Strange. I never would have guessed that such a gifted chef worked here. This inn isn't particularly known for its food.
Everyone likes a good meal, whether they're staying the night or just stopping by for a bite. We call it an inn, but the fact is it's much more than that. We have to cater to all aspects of daily life to make this a true home away from home. Please enjoy your meal at your leisure. I should get back to work now.
Yanxiao, are you taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs?
Huh? You too?
Yep, I've signed up already, and I've got my eyes on the prize. Your cooking's delicious, Yanxiao. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the final.
Huh. Interesting. All right, I'll see you there.
What was that? Some kind of power move?
No, it seemed more sportsmanlike than that.
Yep, he's a really talented chef. His food was excellent, and it showed he has a level-headed personality. That's the kind of chef that could be a match for me. I haven't had any competitive cooking experience since my cook-off with Brooke in Springvale. You're too kind. Guoba, what are you doing?
Guoba's eating the...
Those were Kuching's! How could you steal them while she wasn't looking?
Oh, my golden shrimp balls.
Huh? You ate every last one? Ugh, Guoba, we've been through this. When we're with friends, you gotta be on your best behavior, okay? I'm so sorry, Kuching. I promise I'll make it up to you.
What's the big deal? We can just get another plate. After all, it's Yunxiao's treat today.
It's not the same, though. The moment's gone. Sure, you can eat something else, but you can never go back and change the feeling of despair as your food is snatched away from right under your nose. The dining experience is a trinity of emotion, food, and atmosphere, and you've got to have all three to make it work.
I have to say, now that you mention it, that is a very accurate appraisal of the situation.
I'm gonna make it up to you, Kuching. Is there anything you want to eat? Anything at all. Whatever it is, I'll make it for you.
I don't have high hopes for this, but equally I don't want her feeling guilty. Okay, I'll let her do this for me. If you insist, there is one dish that perhaps you could try making for me. It's an old recipe from my grandfather's notes.
No problem. May I see it?
I'll get it to you when we're back in Liyue Harbor. Traveler, have you finished eating? Before we do anything else, let's head back to Liyue Harbor. I need to fetch something.
After peak season, nothing would sell.
Need to get something from A to B.
I need to go home to fetch my grandfather's notes. Let's meet at Wanman Restaurant later.
Great! I'll go get everything ready. Traveler, what about you? Are you gonna do your own thing for a while, or do you want to come in and have a seat?
I actually have something to discuss with him. You go ahead. We'll join you later.
Okay, gotcha.
Traveler, come here for a moment. I need your advice on something. What do I need to do to get along with Xiangling?
Seriously? That's what's stressing you out?
What's so strange about it? Why are you looking at me like that?
You're super smart, and you're always so sure of yourself. Paimon thought you'd never need advice from anyone about anything.
Well, that's just ridiculous. Xiangling's always so warm and friendly with me. This time especially. And now she's desperate to do me a favor. So, is that supposed to mean... we're friends already? I'm just not used to dealing with people who are so warm right from the get-go. How exactly am I supposed to respond to that? Okay. Noted. Thank you, Traveler. I'll see you again shortly.
What's making Kuching so self-conscious? Paimon thought nobody would be able to get under her skin.
Today, we delve deeper into the moon chase.
Hey, we're here!
Hey, grab a seat. I'm just running through my ingredients to see what I'm missing.
Oh, we're gonna do this now?
What is it?
But this is your idea! Why you gotta dump it on Paimon? Ugh. Okay, so back at Longshu Inn, we noticed you and Kuching were getting along pretty well. So you really like hanging out with her, huh?
Yep. Kuching's good-natured and easy to be around. The kind of person everyone wants to know, right?
You're a braver person than Paimon. The first time we met Kuching, Paimon found her pretty intimidating.
You think so? I remember thinking straight away that she was really easy to get along with. Didn't you see her sneaking treats to Goba back at Longshu Inn?
Yeah, she's great. We know that now. We're just talking about first impressions.
First impressions? Oh, okay. Hey, have you guys eaten grilled shellfish before? They can be hard to crack at first, but they taste amazing that way.
We've eaten shellfish before, but I don't think we've ever tried eating them grilled.
Oh, you're missing out. I'll grill some for you another time. But anyway, Kuching's like a shellfish. Maybe a little closed off at first, but once you get to know her, she's got a soft and squishy side too. Not to mention that even after her favorite food was stolen away, she was still happy looking after Guoba. I'm really grateful for that.
You make a good point. You know, Xiangling's intuition for people seems really spot on. Is that why she took a liking to Kuching so quickly?
Alright, let's see. We're okay for carrots and crab, and we still got some ham and mushrooms. I wonder what Kuching's recipe is gonna be.
Huh? What was that noise?
What's going on? What the? That bird is huge!
Ah, it's the ladybird!
Excuse me, one shall not be addressed in such a manner. One shall be known as Adeptus, whose name, should you care to mention it, is Cloud Retainer.
Cloud Retainer? That does sound like an Adeptus name.
Well spoken. One shall let this young lady's enlightened words atone for the ignorant ones of her friend. A while it has indeed been, traveler. Does one surmise correctly that you hasten hither to partake in the Moon Chase Festival? Ah, so even the illustrious traveler has been summoned to attend the Moon Chase Festival. As expected, this year's theme stands proud against the test of public scrutiny.
The theme? You mean Feast of the Bounteous Land?
The very same. Moon Chase Festival falls during the season when many cooking ingredients are ripe. Hence, it is a fitting time to enjoy the finest of foods. One noticed the relative pomp and ceremony with which this year's affairs are being conducted, and could not abide to stand idly by. Let it be known that one's culinary proficiency and ingenuity is uncontested in all the world. Thus does one now appear in this realm, that those who inhabit it might witness one's latest creation, a supreme cuisine machine.
A supreme cuisine what?
What's a supreme cuisine machine?
Patience. One's purpose here today is to meet and to greet. Nothing further. All shall be revealed before your very eyes when the time arrives. Traveler, you are one who has witnessed much of the culinary world. When the day comes, one would be most pleased to see you in attendance, offering your most vociferous ovations.
Oh, so we're officially invited?
That which is implicitly understood needs not be made explicit, let alone official. I shall say no more and dwell here no longer. Await my word. Be there or beware.
This Bird always disappears just as quickly as she shows up. Oh, wait, not Bird, Adeptus. Hey, wait! Isn't she technically an illuminated bird, though?
She seemed like someone very prestigious and very talented at cooking.
She definitely loves her food.
What are you all huddled together over here for? The Adeptus left already.
Yay! Kaching's back!
Sorry I kept you waiting, Xiangling. This is the recipe from my grandfather's notes. They're not in the best condition, so rather than bring them out of the house, I just transcribed the recipe. Unfortunately, the texts my grandfather worked with were very old, usually faded, damaged, or both. Some parts are missing from this recipe, too. Do you think you'll still be able to work with it?
Oh, okay. Let me take a look. Give me some time. I need to look into it.
Sorry for the trouble.
You're all here?
That voice sounds familiar.
Sorry to interrupt your conversation. I was in the area buying a few things, and I heard the disturbance, so I felt compelled to come take a look.
You mean Cloud Retainer? I saw her too. She just suddenly showed up right in the middle of the street. Whatever adeptal power that was, she certainly knows how to make an entrance.
Lady Kaching, you saw her too? Do you, have a moment? I need to discuss something with you.
What is it, Ganyu? Has something urgent come up while I've been out?
No, it's nothing work-related. I wanted to ask about, something personal. Is that okay?
A personal matter? Involving me? Surely I haven't done anything improper recently, have I?
Please, Lady Kaching? This is really important to me.
Oh, okay.
I noticed Cloud Retainer was here for quite a while. Did she say anything about... me? When I was young?
About your childhood? No, nothing at all.
What? Really? Whew. Thank goodness. I was getting really worried. Once she gets talking to people, she tends to go off on all sorts of tangents. So I was worried she might have bored you with some stories about me.
Your name didn't even come up, so you've nothing to worry about.
Kaching, how are you not asking a bunch of questions right now? There's obviously some juicy gossip here. Aren't you curious to find out what it is?
Please, no, don't do that to me.
Of course not. Whatever it is, I'm not curious and I'm not going to ask. If Ganyu has a secret and she wishes to keep it that way, nobody should make it their business to try and get it out of her. That's just basic decency, is it not?
Yes, ma'am. Paimon will never bring it up again.
Kaching, thank you. You're so kind and considerate. I've always seen that in you.
What's that got to do with... Honestly. Go on, you should be getting back now.
Oh my, you're right, I should. Okay, everyone, please excuse me. I should get back to work now. Take good care of Kaching for me.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Don't worry, Ganyu, we will.
Thanks. Hope to see you again soon.
Just ignore her.
Hey, everyone! I just had an idea. It only occurred to me when that Adeptus showed up. Do you think the Stove God could be an Adeptus too?
Ooh, could be.
I don't want to assert either way, but it seems highly likely.
In that case, we should go ask the Adepti about it. I think my master might be able to help.
Master? You mean your teacher is an Adeptus?
Uh-huh. She's over at Yujing Terrace. Come on, I'll introduce you.
Into the moon chase lore.
Body and mind.
And with that,
but we have some new items
the fate of the woah
Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Time to act. Body and mind. Time to act. Body and mind. Time to act.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something.
I will make you better.
Body and mind.
Have you heard? The rite of parting.
Gosh, all I can think about.
Body and mind. Body and mind. Time to act.
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Apart from your own skills, reliable teammates are also indispensable when adventuring. Another person to count on is always good after all. But recruiting such dependable companions is no easy matter, is it?
Yep, and it's even harder to get a guide as good as Paimon.
Ah, yes. I do have some information that may be of help to you. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is. There's been a certain blonde stranger who arrived in Mondstadt lately, dressed in most unusual clothes.
Blonde. Dresses all funny. It feels like Paimon's heard this one before. Wait! Do you mean... Does that stranger's face look anything like his?
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This stranger is a very tall man, and even has an eye patch.
Seriously? How does this have anything to do with Kaya? Eye patches can't prove that you're related anyway.
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relationship between him and Mr. Kaya. Nonetheless, you can look for him if you're interested. Perhaps he might accept your commission instead. After all, it is not uncommon for some adventurers to not want to be limited by the guild, but be happy to accept a fellow adventurer's requests. And should the stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey. Please don't talk down on yourself like that. You are the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now. Well, as to further news about him, you may want to ask Mr. Lawrence. He stands guard at the city gate, so he may know something about that stranger. I wish you every success, adventurer. voting.
Honorary knight. Is something the matter? A stranger with an eye patch. Let me think. Oh yeah, I remember seeing someone like that. A blonde stranger dressed in unusual garb. He was wandering all over Mondstadt at first, which I found rather suspicious. So I decided to keep an eye on him for a while. I lost him pretty quickly. Still, I didn't think that this was such a huge matter that we needed our outrider to pursue him by air. As long as Master Jean is here, there's nothing to fear from some suspicious, unusual-looking person.
That might be true, but if it were up to Jean, she'd take this way more seriously.
That is true. But on the other hand, knowing that Master Jean may overreact to the situation is all the more reason to not tell her, no? Anyways, oh yeah, he was at Wagner's smithy for a while before I tried tailing him. He might have said something to Wagner. You should go ask him. Maybe he has more news about our stranger.
Body and mind.
What? You need something? Here, I remember him. He showed up a few days ago asking to buy a bunch of forging materials. Can't say I've heard of any of the materials he mentioned, though. He then had a look at the weapons in my shop before leaving. I've heard that he can be found drinking at the Angel's Share. If the Knights or the Guild want to get hold of him, that's the only place to be. What? You need something? Here. Can't say I've heard of it. He then had a look at the weapon. If the Knights or the Guild want to get hold...
The Angel's Share? Well, Master Diluc probably has his eye on that stranger too then. Anyway, let's go to the Angel's Share and have a look.
Try Dawn Winery's Dandelion Wine. If I take it back, Allie, I shouldn't get caught buying alcohol.
What will it be? Grape juice or apple cider?
Hey, Charles! Have you seen a blonde stranger who wears an eye patch around here by any chance?
That I have. He comes here every night. Just a drink, though. Doesn't order anything else. He even sometimes mixes his own drinks after he orders them. I don't know anything else about him, but from his selections and mixes, I'd say that he's quite the connoisseur.
And what's Master D-Luke's opinion?
Why, I just gave it to you. Quite the connoisseur.
Investigating everything as always. Guess that's D-Luke for you.
If you're looking for that gentleman, he ordered some new bottle of wine in advance yesterday. So he should be here today too. There's too many raucous patrons on the first floor, so if you want to wait, best to go to the second. Ah, welcome, sir. The wine that you previously ordered is here.
He's really here? Let's go downstairs and have a look.
Go on, drink some more.
Wow, he's got no intention of paying us any mind, huh?
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling? Well, that's as good a reason as any. Sit down over there, then.
So, guess we've broken the ice. What a weird guy.
That little one beside you.
That's not true, and you know it.
It's indeed a good thing to have someone accompany you on your travels. My name's Dainsleif. I suppose you have some business with me? Sure.
He was so cold just a moment before. Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
But I will require advance payment. 500 mora, and 3 answered questions. The 500 is a one-time fee, and we'll settle the questions in a moment. That's it.
Well, now Paimon's got a really bad feeling. That kind of compensation can't be right.
Ah, thank you. Now as for my questions, I'd like you to answer them here and now. The answer to a question says nothing about right and wrong, only about differences in attitude. I only wish to know what your choices are. You need only answer. Question 1. The crisis Mondstadt faced was resolved by an alliance between yourself and that Animo Archon who calls himself Venti. Who, in your view, was the key to ending that crisis? I know everything that I should. Well, answer the question. Is that your answer? I see. Question number 2. Rex Lapis, who has defended Liyue Harbor for millennia on end, used his gnosis to lay down a contract to end all contracts, of which the stipulations are still unknown. Who do you think will defend Liyue Harbor in the future, now that they've lost their deity? So that's your answer? I see. Now for my final question. This world has people who gained visions, and those who did not. Which of the two do you think hold more importance in the eyes of the gods? So, this is your answer then? I understand. As I thought. You really are similar to her. I'll take that 500 mora. And now I also understand your views on this world. That said, I only take commissions related to the Abyss Order. Like you, I am currently on a journey. You intend to find your sibling, while I wish to oppose the Abyss. Ugh. Those creatures that serve the Abyss are the fangs and claws by which the Order spreads chaos in this world. I have come to Mondstadt this time while on the trail of an Abyss Herald.
An Abyss Herald?
An even more twisted abyssal being, one that commands the Abyss mages.
Oh, that's right! We've just been fighting against the Fatui and Liyue, who are human too! We haven't encountered the non-human Abyss Order at all!
There's some reason behind that, I'm afraid. It's possible that they may have been under orders to avoid your path.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Maybe they're looking for a better time to ambush us or something. Uh-huh! We're super duper strong!
That manner, it's just like hers. Well then, let's go see for ourselves, shall we? According to the leads I have on hand, the Abyss Order has re-infiltrated the Temple of the Falcon. Let's meet up at the temple. Perhaps your questions about the Abyss will be answered there.